So, how was the first day of school?
It was fine, I guess. I don't know.
Do you ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
Hello, welcome to What the Flick. I am Joy. This is Sadness. That's Disgust.
No, I'm anger.
Are you anger?
Yeah.
I'm Disgust.
Okay, all right.
Right.
So, okay.
That's disgusting.
All right,
Anger.
I'm still
Why'd
Joy.
you get that wrong?
I'm still Joy. Damn it. We are talking about Inside Out, the latest movie from Pixar, which everyone seems to love. Please describe it, Matt Atchity.
Inside Out is a story about a young girl who is moving across country from the Midwest to San Francisco with her parents. And there's a lot of emotional turmoil, and we get to see that because we see joy and anger and disgust and sadness and fear all fighting for control over what happens to her. Let's take a look.
School was great, all right?
What was that? I thought you said we were gonna act casual.
Riley, is everything okay?
Sir, she just rolled her eyes at us.
All right, make a show of force. I don't want to have to put the foot down.
No, not the foot.
Riley, I do not like this new attitude.
Oh, I'll show you attitude, old man. No, breathe.
What is your problem? Just leave me alone.
Sir, reporting high levels of sass.
Take it to DEFCON 2.
DEFCON 2.
I don't know where this disrespectful attitude came from.
You want a piece of this, Pops?
Yeah, well, look.
Prepare the foot.
Keys to safety position. Ready to launch on your command, sir.
Just shut up!
Fire!
That's it. Go to your room.
The foot is down. The foot is down. Woo!
So this movie is really profound. And in a very primal level, it's for kids, sure, because it's very colorful and very lively. I think this is really for adults in the way that like WALL-E is for adults, and it's the same director, Pete Docter.
Yeah, Amy Nicholson points out like this feels like it would be something Bergman would cover, right? And I don't think she's wrong. This is a very, very conceptually complicated movie, and it deals with some really, pardon the pun, heady concepts. And I felt like this is gonna go over the head of some kids. Like I don't know that Nick. I think Nick's favorite part was Fear getting his ass set on fire. Like,
Yeah, he does talk about that a lot. Anger sets Fear's ass on fire, and that's his favorite part because that's just pure slapstick.
I see child psychologists everywhere using this movie to ask kids like how they're feeling and to describe what's going on in them.
Right.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, like I think it's going to provide a certain shorthand for them describing their feelings. I mean, I agree. I love the sort of conceptual level that this movie operates on, and the idea of, not just that everybody has these things inside them, but everybody has to sort of figure out that they all have a place. That it can't just be all joy all the time. I kind of wish that they had, and it is similar to something that kind of bugs me about WALL-E, I wish they had allowed the idea to carry the movie and not felt the need to do a sort of typical Pixar chase/quest thing, where so much of the movie is about joy and sadness getting from the further reaches of the brain back into the control room. It's like, you have this great central metaphor, like trust that central metaphor, and that you don't have to like then smack it onto a standard sort of story, because this is anything but a standard movie.
It gets a little bogged down when they are in like literal like labyrinthine corridors of Riley's brain. It gets a little bogged down in them like getting from one place to another. And it does lose a little bit of its momentum because it's thrilling off the top when you realize what they're doing here with these characters and what they stand for and how they interact. And it's this amazing voice cast. It's like Amy Poehler and Mindy Kaling and Bill Hader. And I love Phyllis
Smith
is my
from The
favorite
Office.
as
She's
Sadness.
amazing.
She's actually my favorite part of the whole
perfectly
thing.
cast.
No,
It is.
she's terrific.
And Louis Black perfectly cast as Anger. So it's got great energy and great ideas, but I agree, it gets a little bogged down in like literal corridors of thought.
Right, so let's put that in perspective. Bogged down for a Pixar movie is still knocking it out of the park for everybody else, right?
Sure, yeah.
We're a little bit spoiled, I think, when it comes to Pixar. I think this holds up with the Toy Stories and with Up and with WALL-E. This is, we've seen Cars 2 and Brave is not perfect, and that one's got its problems. And the last couple of years, I think the bloom's off the rose a little bit with Pixar. This one is right in there with the best of the work that they've ever done. And I think that this is a really profound movie. And even although it does get bogged down, some of the concepts and some of the metaphors, I think, do still get used really well. And it's this the payoff is, when they explain how everything has its place and what the point of it is kind of amazing, because it's totally, it kind of turns everything that your expectations are in the beginning of the film, and I think it really works. This is a really amazing movie.
And I admit, I ugly cried at least once.
I cried. Well, we won't talk about it.
We won't talk about when.
There's a moment.
You'll know when you hit it. Because I had been warned in advance, oh, you'll cry. And so that's always usually, I'm like,
You're like,
oh, yeah, we'll see about that. And boy, I did not see that one coming. And then suddenly I was just like, yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, I agree with you. This is definitely higher tier Pixar. But I think that, it's fair to point out that some of these movies have, I think, certain script issues. I think both Ratatouille and Up, for all the great things that they do, throw in this arbitrary argument that happens between the two protagonists to split them apart, so they then have to come back together, which always kind of bugs me. But it doesn't mean I don't think there's a lot of other great things in those movies. There's a lot that's great in this movie, but I really wish that they had relied upon the cool framework they'd come up with and not felt like they had to then slap it onto a more sort of acceptable kids movie motif. But this is super quibbling. The movie's terrific. You should totally go see it.
I would say that the conflict that arises, the thing that the tearing apart and bringing back together is relevant in that we're talking about an 11-year-old girl. Like, you're at the height of your angst and your awkwardness, plus she has left everything that was familiar and comforting and safe to her, and she's at a place where she knows nobody and she hates it. So, like, all those feelings are so heightened that I think the choices that she makes make sense. Having said that, like, your son's 11, my son is 5, but I think he's still really took away from this the notion of happy and sad coexisting and enhancing each other. Like, he got that. And so it can possibly help kids on every level, but still it's like fear getting his ass set on fire is more important.
It's like we learned from Free to Be You and Me in the 70s, it's okay to cry.
Aw, you boys
Thank
are
you, Rosie
sweet.
Greer.
That's right.
All right, so then what are your numbers then?
I give it an 8.9. This is strong stuff, and I think audiences will dig it.
I say 9, Matt.
You guys are haters. I give it a 9.2.
And where is it, Matt?
100% on the tomato meter.
Does that happen? Like, will there be some contrarian out there?
There will
Inevitably.
eventually be someone that maybe doesn't like, and that's okay. I don't care if the movie's at 100%. It's fine. I'm not rooting for it to be at 100.
Yeah, people get
But, like,
insanely
for the
fixated on
the
that.
number, who's going to win the
Or
number?
spoiling 100 or spoiling a 0 just sends people into a frenzy. Like, let it go.
Well, it's going to happen, but it's at 100 right now, and it'll stay really high.
I will say, like, when we all watch a movie like this at 100%, and we know that the negative review is coming at some point, we'll see that. We're like, okay, we actually feel worse when a movie's at a perfect 0 and somebody takes pity on it. There's that little bit of, like, schadenfreude that, like,
you went soft.
Somebody went soft on this? Come on.
Just enjoy that perfect soap bubble while it lasts, knowing that it will pop.
This is really beautiful. I think you're all going to love it. So go see it and let us know what you think. Bye.